Hello again and welcome to another edition of Newsmaker of the Week. I'm Leon Worden and I'm pleased to welcome this week's Newsmaker, first-time guest, Matt Nelson, the Executive Director of the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Clubs. Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to be here. Now, you know, when people are probably used to seeing somebody other than you when we're talking about the Executive Director of the Santa Clarita Valley Boys and Girls Club. I think probably a lot of people think Jim Ventris is still the still in charge.
Yeah,
but,
we get the occasional call still for Jim. Yep.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. David Menchaca sat in that very seat not too many months ago. Mm-hmm. And here you are. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second of all, how long have you been in the hot seat?
It's been 9 weeks now.
9 weeks?
9 weeks.
So I can ask you everything, the whole history of the club and everything. No, actually, you've been there. You've been with the Boys and Girls Club here out in Santa Clarita for a little while.
Yeah, I've been with the club for 14 years. Yep, since 2003.
Years. So when
fall.
you were like 12.
Yeah, 12 years old I was, yeah.
I was when I was like 9 or something, but you know, I wasn't like running things. I was like going over to the little clubhouse in Newhall and shooting pool, I think, and stuff like that.
You were a member?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, my mom was on the board and all that stuff. Yeah, so I would go over to the clubhouse. And did you grow up here?
So I spent some years here in Santa Clarita, and then also up in Fraser Park.
Okay. So were you a member of the club as a kid?
Not in Santa Clarita. No, I visited the Simi Valley Club though when when I visited my cousins who were involved out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no.
Did you go to school out here?
So I went to Newhall Elementary, K through 2, and then I went to Old Orchard for 3rd grade, and then we moved back up the hill, as we say, up to Fraser Park, and so I lived up there, and then went to Bakersfield High School. And then in college, came back down this way. Our family moved back to Castaic and went to College of the Canyons. So yes and no, here, there, around.
In the vicinity, certainly, and you know, maybe Bakersfield is a little bit far, but we'll call the rest of it the Santa Clarita Valley. So.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work. Yeah. So 14 years. What brought you to the club?
Well, it was kind of by chance, happenstance. It was 2003. I graduated from San Francisco State. I had gone to College of the Canyons for 3 years here, and then I kind of wanted to get away for school. And San Francisco was within the state, so within our budget, and but it was kind of exotic. You know, they have public transportation, ride BART, So I went up there for a couple of years.
Metropolitan.
Metropolitan. Fun,
compared to
exciting.
Fraser Park.
Yeah, the big city, exactly. So learned a lot there, got involved on campus and in the community, and decided I wanted to come back here to
What were you
Santa
studying?
Clarita. So at the time, I was considering teaching, so liberal studies, elementary school teacher, focused in anthropology. That was my interest, but really didn't know what I'd do with that. So, but liberal studies, And then when I came back here, I planned on getting my teaching credential, but I kind of stumbled across the club. They had an education coordinator position open, so I figured that'd give me some good experience, helping kids with homework, doing science activities, fun stuff, after school setting, and fell in love with it. Just fell in love with it. Within a year, there was a full-time position open, and I moved up as an education director, and at that point, maybe I don't need my credential. My wife, she's a teacher. She's at Oak Hills Elementary out here.
Really?
She's been in the Newhall School District for almost as long as I've been at the Boys and Girls Club. So, we've both been real involved in the community, and so she went.
Yeah, so you first got involved in the after-school programs, and of course, Boys and Girls Club, the kids are actually there in the afternoons, not, not the whole day long. So did you hold another job at the same time, or?
At first, when I was part-time, I did some satellite TV installation in the morning down in Hollywood, and I'd run up here and afternoon.
Hook up a satellite TV and go and help the kids after school.
And I was an aide at McGrath Elementary for a little bit as well.
Were you really?
Yeah.
So what was it that clicked? What made you want to decide to do this?
So when I was in junior high school, I had a junior high teacher that was really a mentor for me, and I didn't even realize it at the time. It wasn't until she passed away a few years ago that I really realized what an influence she had on my life.
Are we talking Placerita? Or?
No, this was up in Fraser Park. This was at El Tejon. This was Mrs. Mason, Shelley Mason, and she was real involved in the community up there, real influential. And she took me under her wing. She knew my mom. My mom was a single mom, 3 boys, and she was just working every day to make ends meet, working on the weekends too, and you know, there wasn't something after school for us up there, but when I was at school, she got me involved in other things, helping set up for the dance, giving me extra duties, and kind of took me under her wing, and she got me thinking about life beyond school too. She had a technology classroom that we could explore, you know, robots, and it was pretty advanced for back then, and with the computers and photography, and it just expanded our world. And for me, that was really inspirational, helped me start thinking about college, and I think her influence is what got me there. I was the first in my family to go to college, and I, you know, credit a big part of that to her. So when I was thinking of teaching, I think she just got me motivated and wanting to help kids and wanting to pay it forward really and have that influence. So when I came across the club, I couldn't decide if I wanted to work with younger kids, older kids, you know, I was kind of torn, and then this offered an opportunity where I could work with all ages. You know?
Yeah, I know people, I know a lot of people who, you know, are in the teaching profession and either really like to work with the older kids and do not like working with the younger ones, or vice versa. And so it's kind of different to like want to work with all. What do you serve? Age 7 to 17, I think. Last I knew, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So you really have a diverse crowd.
Yeah. You're one minute you're turning around and helping tie a shoe, and the other minute you're talking dating problems with somebody else, dating issues. So yeah.
So that's where the anthropology comes in, I suppose. Or no.
At
least sociology, anyway, right? But,
understanding different cultures.
Understanding different cultures, because there are a lot of different, not just ages, but a lot of different backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, and every other way at the Boys and Girls Club. And that's something about the Boys and Girls Club, of course, that I think has kind of really tugged at the heartstrings of folks in this valley for the last 40, 50 years. You know, because the Boys and Girls Club auction, you know, we have so many charities now, and you know, if you've seen it grow up in your time, I've certainly seen it, our valley grow up in my time, and we have. But the Boys and Girls Club auction used to be the one big event because you know that has always had the appeal. It's always been important. And if you had to tell somebody why, you know, when they have all these options now today, why somebody should decide to support financially or in any other way the Boys and Girls Club, what would you tell them?
Well, you know, I'd probably tell them about some of the kids that I've worked with at the club. You know, there was a kid came by the other day. He's a senior in high school right now. His name's Charlie. And when he first came to us, he was about 9 years old, and he had gotten kicked out of daycare. He was having some behavior issues, and he was a real challenge. And I don't know why, but I like working with those kids. I like the challenge. I like the, you know, getting to know them. Maybe they remind me of myself and my brothers when we were that age. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, single mom with 3 boys. I wasn't going to ask.
Yeah, we got into some trouble. And so, you know, when I met him, he had gotten kicked out of daycare because he threw a chair. And he just wasn't doing well in that structure. He needed some more flexibility. So when he came to the club, you know, there's a lot of freedom of choice inside the club. The club offers a lot of structure, but they get a lot of choice. And that works really well with a lot of kids because, you know, they're squares trying to be forced into a round hole. But when they come to the club, they get to find themselves, and it offers an opportunity for them to learn to socialize with other kids of various backgrounds and ages, and some of them really blossom in that setting. You have the staff that are there really care about the kids. And this kid in particular, there were some days where staff asked me why is he still here? Because he would get, you know, he'd get frustrated, he'd get upset, but he never hurt anyone. You know, he might have used some foul language sometimes, but we worked really hard with him, and he's completely changed. He had a single mom, so I could relate. Dad wasn't around. He doesn't even want to talk about his dad. He's still so angry about that. But now he's involved in our leadership program. He's, you know, on track to graduate from high school, and we talk video games, and we have fun. And where would he be if we didn't have the club? And
you're obviously a man. I figured that a lot by myself.
Yeah.
Do you like? Are you feeling a father role in a sense like that? Is that how you see it, or?
As I'm getting older, yeah. You know, naturally, being the oldest of a few brothers, I saw myself more as an older brother and then and more of an uncle. in ways. Yeah. There's a couple who like to call me uncle.
Uncle.
Yeah.
And not saying uncle because you pinned him down.
No. Uncle man.
So you say why people ask why he was still there. I guess you do run into discipline problems that are beyond your control every now and then, I would imagine.
Yeah, every once in a while you do, but we work with people as best we can, with the families, with the kids, and we can help connect them with other resources. And that, you mentioned the other nonprofits out here. That's a great, the community has so much support, and we can be a bridge to reach other opportunities for kids. And so we've been able to do that so that maybe the club at that time isn't the perfect setting for that child, but they can get the resources they need. And sometimes, and then they come back. Maybe they come back with an aid, or maybe that they've aged to a certain point where some of the stuff is worked out, and they can
You've got kids coming back to help out, right?
Yeah, we do. We actually, right now on our staff, we have 4 alumni, which is really exciting. They're all in college, they're all working on their degrees and making their plans, and all of them, whatever they want to do, they know they want to get involved and help people. So that's exciting to see, and to know you made a difference with those kids, because really the club is theirs more than it's mine or anyone else's. It's their home. And
you've got the New Hall facility. You've got the club at Sierra Vista.
Yep.
Used to operate with the one in Val Verde, but I guess that's still operating under the county.
There's
but
still
it's not a Boys and Girls Club,
there.
but it's still functioning and still performing similar services.
Yes.
So between New Hall and Sierra Vista sites, how much staff do you have?
So we currently have 20 staff.
20.
Part-time.
And what kind of disciplines are we talking about? What are their areas of expertise? What different kinds of people do you have on
So our full-time staff, our branch managers, they have their degrees, and they have been involved. Right now, our 2 branch managers combined, they have some like 30 years experience working with youth. And then we have a full-time teen director, and she's been worked at she's our only staff who's worked at Val Verde, Canyon Country, and New Hall. She's really great. Vanessa works with the teens, and she's been doing it something like 8 years with us. The other part-time, we have various. We have some who are more of a retired age that have made their careers, and they want to stay active, and they want to be involved, and so they work part-time at the club. And then others who are in college that are working their way through, and others that work a couple of jobs.
How much do you rely on volunteer help?
Oh, every day we need volunteers, yeah. We need volunteers as coaches, mentors, tutors. If you're out there, contact us.
When you say coaches, like what? Coaching in what?
So we have flag football right now. It's a new program for us. Buffalo Wild Wings helped to support us and get some equipment, and we're getting that going. And then in the spring, we have basketball, and that's for kids 7 all the way up through high school. So.
And you've got indoor basketball, at least in New Hall.
Yeah. Both facilities have beautiful gyms, full court, and really great facilities. So.
Well, it's always very active. I mean, it's certainly heavily used. And do you see, in your 14 years, are you seeing that it's, does it continue to grow? Is it relatively stable the way, in terms of use? Is it?
Oh yeah. Still
changing?
getting a lot of use. We have something like 400 kids a day coming through the doors. Last year we had 1,700 kids enrolled in the club. That's 7 through 17. 40% of our members are teens. So we're getting a lot of use.
Because there are some, just as we've grown, there are some other avenues available to kids of that age now, at least some of those ages. We've got the New Hall Community Center. We've got the city with a Canyon Country Community Center that is going to be,
it's going to be
doing
great.
a new one. And so there are other alternatives now that we didn't have when I was, a kid going over to the Boys and Girls Club. That was it. But how are you basically keeping up with the times? How are you staying relevant? How are you meeting the current? How are you seeing the needs changing?
Well, we're fortunate. We have a national organization that offers a lot of support. I was just at a conference last week, so we get a lot of extra support from them as far as training and development, involving social media use to reach kids and families. But the beauty of the club is, this is one reason I like the club versus teaching is we can adapt our programs to the needs of the community. So as the kids' interests change, as our demographics change, as the kids grow older and their needs change, we can adapt with them. And we can match the staff with their strengths with those kids. So we're constantly, every 6 months, tweaking programs, introducing some, bringing some back to meet the needs of that community. So that flexibility is really fantastic. And
So you're under a national umbrella, but they're not putting you in a box.
No, not at all. They offer
thing.
support, absolutely. Every club and every community is different. Even our 2 clubhouses between Newhall and Sierra Vista are different. They're structured slightly different, and so have different resources and different demographics. And so it's the beauty of it. It keeps us on our toes, and it's a great resource. We're open till 7 each night, which is, some places close as early as 6 or 5:30. So we're open later, and we service the junior high school kids, like I said, the teens.
Right.
And that's still an issue where kids have daycare, but once you get to a certain age, either they're frustrated with it and they want to move out and they need that unstructured opportunity that the club offers, or there's just nothing else left. They age out of it, but maybe the parents aren't quite comfortable with them being home alone yet.
Right.
And that's important. I mean, that's when most juvenile crime happens, and kids just get in trouble because parents are still at work and they're out of school, but the club is there to keep them on the right track.
And now you have a lot more responsibility now than you did 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How do you see your own relationship and role changing with that?
It's interesting. So I've been there 14 years, and I'm real familiar with the programs, the facilities, the staff, volunteers. But now I'm out in the community more. Networking, getting to know our supporters, our stakeholders.
Now you're the marketing guy too.
Yeah. Connecting with people, and it's been great. It's really exciting because there's a lot of people that I've heard their names, or I've heard the businesses over the years that have been involved in the auction or Festival of Trees, and now getting to work with them directly. It's really exciting. It's Santa Clarita. Next year is going to be our 50th year as an organization out here, and there's a lot of people with a lot invested. It's the community's club, and it's great to be a part of it.
You used to be able to do the fun stuff and work with kids. Now you got to go deal with all these ornery adults.
They're okay. That's okay.
Well, I hope that doesn't take any of the fun away from you.
No, I still can take breaks and go shoot a game of pool.
Good. You mentioned Festival of Trees. You've got a couple of things coming up on the calendar yet this year. We're in September now.
Yep.
But you got a couple things coming up. Tell me about those.
Yeah. So next Thursday, September 28th at 8:30 a.m. we have our Great Futures Breakfast, which is our first year doing that, and it's a mission-driven, hour-long free breakfast to get to know the club and programs and make a donation of support if people are interested. It's something new for us, and we're really excited about it because it's all about the kids, the alumni, sharing stories and getting to know the heart of the club. And then we have the Haunted Jailhouse again on Sunday, October 29th. I was just at a meeting today at the Sheriff's Station, working with them and the city and various other vendors on putting that together. I think it's our 28th year of doing the Haunted Jailhouse. The teens love that. They're excited. They're talking about their ideas, and I won't reveal anything yet because that's the big surprise for Halloween. And then, of course, Festival of Trees. That's going to be November 17th, 18th, and 19th at the center, formerly Activity Center or Sports Complex in Canyon Country, the way it's been the last 2 years. And that's going to be a great event. That's if you've never been to that, you should definitely come check that out. It's $8 to get in for a person, just to come to see the trees. We have gingerbread houses, small trees, large trees.
And you can leave with the tree too.
You can leave with the tree. We have our gala, and if you're interested in coming to the gala on Saturday the 18th, you could come and purchase a ticket or a table or sponsor a tree, get involved decorating trees. It's a big event.
You bring home a decorated tree and don't have to do it yourself.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. You could bring home a tree. You'll have it ready right after Thanksgiving. You'll be set for the holidays. Be in the spirit.
Great Futures. Talk to me a little bit about that. I know that this is, the events that the Boys and Girls Club hold, the fundraising events that you hold each year, only take you so far. I know that, I try to explain this to people. If we were in L.A., we're not in L.A. If we were in L.A., you would have a whole different scale of wealth in the community that doesn't exist here. And, we hear about people endowing museums with $5 million, $30 million, whatever. The numbers here, divide by 10. And so I know that you're trying to reach out to people who do have the ability to maybe give a little more through this Great Futures program. Why don't you tell me what that is? What's the experience that's offered through Great Futures?
So
walk me through how that works.
So for the breakfast itself?
No,
or
no,
just
for I know you've been having people come over and visit the club.
Yeah. So we've been doing ongoing tours throughout the year.
What do they see? Walk me through that.
So when you come on a tour at the club, it's something that we love to do. We like to introduce people who have never heard of the club. There's people who come and they think, Santa Clarita doesn't really need a Boys and Girls Club. It's pretty well to do. Well, when they come and they hear the stories about the kids that we serve, they realize, hey, maybe we do.
They see one little part of the community, maybe. They don't see the whole community.
Exactly. And then other people might think, that we're just a daycare, and we're not. When you serve kids all the way up through high school, we focus on developing character and leadership. We had teens go to a Keystone Conference in Chicago this year. They raised all the funds to go. And the life experience that something like that teaches, that's not daycare. That's developing leadership. That's developing character. So when you come on a tour, you get to meet some of our kids, meet our alumni, meet parents, and hear what the club's really about. And then from that, maybe people come and they know, now they're educated. Now if somebody is talking about they need a place for their kids, they can refer them, they know. Other people are looking to get involved, volunteer. There's a lot of people who want to help out in the community, and the club is a great avenue for that. And then other people who want to support a quality, important program that's making a difference and making an impact.
What do you see as the what challenges do you face?
It's a growing city. One challenge that every week we get a call from a parent. It's always different parents that are outside our service area. We have a club in New Holland, Canyon Country, but there's still families, there's still kids in Saugus, there's still kids in the Castaic area that they don't have the ability to get to the club. We have a transportation service. We service 13 of the schools out here in the 2 areas, but we don't reach all of them. So it's a challenge as the city grows, to reach all those families and those kids and make sure that they have the place to be. Others, like you said, there are more nonprofits out here, so there's more to support, and they're all great and important, and so looking for ways that we can collaborate, partner together to support each other, to be there for the community, to deal with the wicked problems that we're facing. These aren't easy issues, dealing with poverty, dealing with domestic violence.
And for a lot of kids, they're for adolescents, there are a lot of options, some not so healthy. What am I going to do after school? How does somebody who hasn't been involved, I would imagine a lot of the teenagers have been with the program through the years and continue. But if a kid hasn't, and if a kid has options that aren't so great that they're getting involved with after school, how is that kid reached, and how do you attract them to the Boys and Girls Club?
A lot of
Who's
referrals.
doing that out there?
That's why it's great we have so many people involved in the community, and that's one reason we do the tours. Is we want school counselors to come see what the club is about, so they can make those references, so that the teachers know, the principals, people know what the club is about. That's our greatest resource. Word of mouth, getting kids at the club. But kids, we have teen nights where you bring a friend to the club and you get an extra, gift card or whatever it is we come up with to attract more teens, to get more kids in the door, having fun events. The haunted jailhouse, getting teens involved in that is always exciting. There's always something.
When I was in junior high or high school or whenever it was, we used to have dances over at Magic Mountain and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's important to have those other options for teens, because there's a lot out there that they just need that other option, that other excuse to stay out of the trouble.
A lot of kids, I would imagine, generally want to do the right thing, but don't necessarily have the knowledge to go seek it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they want to seek it out, where do they find you? Besides going to Newhall, where like online or whatever?
So www.scvbgc.org, like Santa Clarita Valley, Boys Girls Club.org. Also, we have a Facebook page you can follow. We like to post what's going on at the club, upcoming events through there. Or you could call us at 661-254-CLUB. That's 254-2582, and we could get you signed up, get your kids a membership. It's $60 a year for a child, $45 for each additional. But we never turn anyone away. So if somebody needs a scholarship, we have that available, payments, whatever it takes. We want the kids to be
$60 a
involved.
year to get like $6,000 worth of service or something that's basically covered by people who buy trees at the Festival of Trees.
That's right.
And go to the Boys and Girls Club auction and things like that.
That's
the people
right.
who like actually make it possible.
That's right, to keep kids like Charlie out of jail. On the right track, on the right path.
Cool. Love it. It's been great for 50 years. What, next year you said, I think?
Yeah, big celebration coming next year. Look out, Santa Clarita.
Been a big part of this valley, and so Matt Nelson, I wish you many years of success in this role. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us. Missed any portion of this program, you can see it again and again on scvtv.com. Check back here, Spectrum Channel 20, AT&T Uverse 99, for another Newsmaker of the Week.